WTIM.
Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining us in this segment, I've got Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler. Dwayne, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Good. Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to see you here in studio, coming off of what you've told us has been a nice vacation, and
Yes.
hopefully we're feeling well rested as we finish out these summer months and get into fall and in the winter. But hopefully got some of that taken care of while you were away. It sounds like kids went back to school, and we want to kind of start there. I don't know where you want to take me first. We've got new school resource officers. We still want to let kids know and families know that resources are available to them. But back to school on your end of things, Dwayne, what's that kind of look like?
Yeah, like every year, we do have a new school resource officer named Officer Ryan Tapp. He's a great officer. I hate to miss him on the street. I will miss him on the street. He was one of our traffic officers. He did a lot of traffic for us. He was that white Dodge Charger you always see on Springfield Road, and that was him. He's very excited about a change, and change is good. And I think he's going to do a fantastic job. One good thing is him being a traffic officer. We've had several complaints on Cherokee Street, kids going to school, the parents driving too fast because they're late for work, going around school buses, things like that, coming and going, in the morning and also afterwards. Him being a traffic officer, he's been advised that he needs to step up and take control of that Cherokee Street due to the fact that, we're lucky a kid has not been hit. We just want the parents to slow down, leave earlier if you have to. And if the kid's late for school, your student, he's late for school. We just don't want you to go around a school bus and smack a child. And we've just been way too lucky that it hasn't happened. And I never want that to happen. There's a stop sign there that we've seen cars just go right through, and that's just unacceptable. Ryan Tapp has been instructed, basically ordered, that listen, there's zero tolerance in that area. If you go around a school bus, you're going to get a ticket. It's going to be a hefty fine, and if you blow a stop sign, you'll get a ticket. So, it's just, we want to caution the parents to, leave early, or your child's late for school. Don't take the chance of hitting a child. That'll be the worst thing that could ever happen.
And that is North School that's on Cherokee Street, or is that Memorial as well?
Yeah, it's basically the junior high.
That's what I thought. And so, that intersection with Park Street and Cherokee is obviously always a busy one, but you had those school kids there as well. Then you've got the multiple stop signs making your way down. To hear people are blowing right by them or blowing right by the school bus is kind of a crazy deal to hear.
Yes, there. And I tell you, I get complaints all the time from the citizens that live on Cherokee. They go out and watch, the show basically, and the show has ended. I just forewarn anyone that if you want to speed or blow a stop sign or go past the school bus, Officer Ryan Tapp will be there, and you will get a ticket. And I'm saying that in a positive way, where let's work together, and we don't want to cite nobody if we don't have to, but we will. There is zero tolerance. There is no warnings. So
let's make sure the school zones are safe.
That's
and I guess my question for you would be: so these are school resource officers, but it sounds like still kind of traffic officers, still a part of the Taylorville Police Department, still have all the same priorities or powers that will be. What's the relationship between that as they're on the street and also kind of in the school?
Yeah, school resource officers, they multitask. Their main objection is to keep the students safe and also the staff. So that's what they do. When it comes to kids coming and going from school, they are outside the perimeter in their squad cars, making sure people are following the rule of law, and making sure that no one is blowing stop signs and going past school buses. But also they understand too is, these officers will travel, like Officer Ryan Tapp, he'll go to the North School. then he'll go to Memorial, and uh, he'll drive around to different schools. The officer D's, who's our school resource officer in the high school, stays in the high school, but he'll also do perimeter checks. When it comes to traffic along when kids are coming into school and leaving school. So he's has his citations has written to students last year. I'm sure he'll do it this year too. But it's not about writing citations. It's about keeping the kids safe. The burnouts with high schools. He deals with that all the time. Traffic crashes in the school area mostly is handled by their school resource officer, so we can keep the other patrol officers on the street taking service calls. But also it's education and counseling. That is that's a big step. Mental health, we've talked about this several times, is always an issue, and it's good to have an officer there that a child or a student can come to and talk to privately, and tell them that there might be some issues at home that might be addressed. So we like that. We like that end of it, due to the fact that we could probably help that child live a better life.
And you can improve the relationship between kids and police officers and the police force as well, getting to them early. The other thing for you, is that something that the Taylorville School District came to you and said, hey, we really could use these resources? Or was it kind of a conversation that went, yeah, we know you could? How did that kind of come to fruition?
Yeah, when I first started, we had a school resource officer, and then we decided to go with two. One is not enough with the size of schools that we have and how many we do have. So we made up a plan, and it's been working out that we have two school resource officers always per year. So, and two is plenty. We don't need three. The main thing is, this week and in the coming weeks, we'll be doing training with the schools about school shootings. That's one thing that I'm always concerned about, is the school shootings. I keep saying that, if you see something, say something, because we are in an area that it could happen, because there's, we're in a rural area, and there's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of hunters, and people might leave their guns out. And if a student is having issues, we don't know what tragic could happen. So we're always watching. We watch. If there's a problem, we watch a social media feed. We have resources with the Attorney General's office and other government agencies. If we think a student might be heading towards that direction of doing something that can cause harm. And I won't get into that, but we do have the resources, and we do watch during the year if we think a student is might be having some sort of mental breakdown.
And anything is possible. And we're seeing more and more creep into small communities like Taylorville. So you can never take something like that off of the table when it comes to school shootings. Those trainings you said coming up this week?
Yeah, we have training coming up Wednesday, and then I have two more trainings coming up within the next month.
Okay.
And that is with students and staff. And also during the year, our ERT team will go into the schools. We have the blueprints of the schools, and what they do is they practice just in case of a school shooting. So we are prepared. We want to always be prepared. And if you look at just nationally, these school shootings happen in these areas. They don't happen in inner cities. You never see it happen in inner city. In the city of Chicago, downtown Chicago, you never hear of a school shooting. You never hear of a school shooting in downtown New York. It's mostly rural areas, urban areas that, especially rural, is where they happen. And but I have 100% faith in the teachers and all the staff at the schools that if a student is having issues, they'll contact us, and we'll do our due diligence to make sure the student is not on a path of destruction.
And we want to keep it upbeat here today. And so we'll also help in that regard, because there are still some kids that are in need potentially of school supplies and other things. You'd mentioned there was a big player in that game these last couple of weeks, maybe even a month or so now. What can you tell us about kids that are in need that can still get some additional help?
Well, kudos to Kroger this year. They did a fantastic job for giving school supplies away at their store. I never see nothing like that, and they do just a great job for this community. And if you are in need for school supplies, contact the police department. Get a hold of me. I'll make sure you get what you need. We don't want you to go to school without the proper, equipment. So, just give us a call. Put your pride to the side. Call us, and we'll take care of you. And get your son or daughter, the things they need to have a great year.
One thing that I see pretty constantly, I would say, on your guys' Facebook page is bikes. A lot of bikes getting given out. How does that kind of go?
I'll tell you, this year has been great. I mean, the citizens have been great with, either purchasing us new bikes, or they have bikes that are really decent. And they just give us really nice bikes, and the kids that are in need that want a bike, and they'll call up. The parents will call, and we have a little warehouse we keep the bikes at, and we'll meet them and give them a bike. And the bike program is going really well. But we do more than just bikes. We do. We actually, whatever you need, you call us, and we'll find it for you. Especially the ones that are in need, and we know how to weed out the ones that are not, of course, and that happens all the time in any city you go to. One thing about this police department, we're very caring and giving, but if it wasn't for our citizens helping us, we would not be able to get those essentials to the kids. So I want to thank personally the citizens. They just they're just fantastic. When someone's in need in Taylorville, the citizens really step up.
And I think, talk about feel good, seeing the little ones with the brand new bike. You see those smiles on their faces. You see the officers that get to stand with them there and take that picture. It's always just such a nice little scene. So I've been seeing a lot of them. I know you do a lot more than that, but man, those bikes, I've just been seeing a lot of them.
Well, I tell you, the part that you don't see, you might see something on social media, but the part that you don't see and the citizens don't see is when we run into these children on the street, and they flag us down and thank us. That really warms your heart.
It's got to mean a world to those officers to get even just a smidge of recognition, one, but two, to come from the kids too. I mean, that's awesome.
Oh, it's great. And even the parents, you drive down the street, parents will flag you down and say, "Hey, I want to thank you again." It's just great. Warms your heart. And when police are public servants, we're here to help, but also, we have a heart, and we want to make sure that, you have especially your kids have what they need to succeed.
And that including in the bikes, the school supplies right now, and pretty much anything else. Please reach out in that regard for some additional resources. Well, Dwayne, let's take ourselves a break. We've got Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler joining us here on the WTIM Morning Show. We'll be right back around with him to talk more about, as we make our way into back to school and even further down the road with crime being down, things like that. We'll be right back around. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. When it comes to connecting with America's farmers and ranchers, nothing beats the authentic voice of Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters have been the voice of rural America since 1944, building trusted relationships with agricultural producers across generations. Today, the network of over 140 Ag radio stations reaches farmers and ranchers during their most productive hours when they're actively working their operations and making business decisions. What makes Ag Radio uniquely effective? Farmers listen to farm broadcasters for information that directly impacts their livelihood. When your message is delivered alongside crucial weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news, it receives the same attention and credibility. Farm Radio Connects offers agricultural advertisers targeted access to this engaged audience through professionals who understand both broadcasting and agriculture. According to the National Association of Farm Broadcasting, 78% of farmers consider information from farm broadcasters highly trustworthy. When you need to reach rural America effectively, choose the voices they already trust. Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and discover how Ag Radio can elevate your agricultural marketing strategy.
This is Angela Quinn with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source of life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Brenda Elder, Executive Director of the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation. If you're looking to grow your business, we're here to help. From supporting our local businesses to attracting new investment, everything we do is focused on building a brighter future for Shelby County. We sponsor job fairs to connect local talent with great employers and inspire entrepreneurs through the Shelby County CEO program. Click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Shelby County Economic Development, growing business, growing community.
Your locally owned Scooters Coffee at routes 29 and 104 in Taylorville are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Give Back promotion. Scooters Coffee will donate the following to the Taylorville Sports Boosters. For each Tornado varsity football touchdown, they're donating $10. For each 3-point shot in varsity Tornado boys and girls basketball games, they're donating $3. And $5 for each home run scored by varsity baseball and softball team. The 22 local Scooters Coffee Taylorville, thank you for your business. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
CTI is the only internet company that offers no data caps and limitless data for limitless possibilities. They're your local internet provider. Sign up by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Cousin Bill here from Illinois Paving. Hey, Christian County and surrounding area, let us do your paving job, whether large or small this year. Find out how we can do your paving project by clicking on the icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. You're listening to our morning show brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville as well. Joining us in this segment, I've got Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler of the Taylorville Police Department. We talked a little bit about back to school, getting kids the resources they need, and having school resource officers available as well. Crime is down, though. That seems to be something worth noting for sure. What are some of those stats from maybe June and July that are kind of indicating as such?
Yeah, I'm a data guy, so I look at data all the time, and our stats, I don't have the numbers with me, but we're down. Our service calls are way down too. With that being said, service calls, we usually average 1,800 service calls a month, and now we're down, around 1,200. So that shows you that people are not calling for service as much. And then also our thefts are down. I can't tell you. I remember just a couple months ago, we had a lot of Walmart issues, and last month was a good month for that. Bikes being stolen, cars. We're not seeing much of that. And so that gives us time to focus on the areas that we need to focus on, and which are narcotics. And I'll tell you one thing: with our recovery program here in Taylorville has grown so much, and it's still growing daily. And God bless all the people in recovery helping each other stay strong and stay off the drugs or alcohol. They're helping each other. They're bringing more people into us and Safe Passage. We are working so well together. It's just, Judge Paisley just recently spoke to part of the governor's staff about Safe Passage, and we're going to have a meeting with them in September, and that's going to help us out tremendously with Safe Passage. And I appreciate Judge Paisley's passion for our program, just like we love his program with drug court. And by us, Judge Paisley and myself, working hand in hand together, we could really, if you want to talk about stats, you put us both here together one day, and we'll pull the numbers out, and it will shock the city of Taylorville.
Crime being down is a huge deal. And you mentioned recovery, of course, along with that, but the service calls being down here in the summer months surprises me a little bit. And I wish we had more time to unpack that as well. But I have got Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler of the Taylorville Police Department joining us here on the WTIM Morning Show. We'll be back around with more morning shows in just one moment.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pena Nokomis.